This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and William Hill. Delighted to be joined with Izzy Asif. October the 6th is fastly approaching us. So we're very, very excited for it, but I bet you can't wait. But how are we feeling, mate? How's things?
Yeah, good, mate. A bit tired, as you can hear from my voice. Yeah, things are going good. 3 weeks away, so it's all like this is where you level it up and everything happening at the moment, good and bad. So yeah, we're just ready now. The team's geared up and prepared for what's coming.
And for times like this, like you said, you're leveling up, you're getting better. You sort of every show you're trying to sort of reach new levels. Is that an exciting thing? Because you think sort of when you're on the come up, is that exciting for you when you're sort of trying to reach new levels and trying to outdo yourself every single show?
100%. You know what makes me laugh is every show I've done from the start, people are like, "Oh, that was brilliant. You can't top that." And I'm thinking to myself, top that, I'm going to freaking double that standard levels. And every single show, and they'll be same at this show. We'll do things and we'll think, we can level it up. And I think that in general, you've got to keep pushing. I don't know how far you get. If you talk to the best promoters in the world, they'll tell you there's things they want to improve or try something. And I think that's just a matter of keeping you going and giving you goals and reaching out for stuff. So yeah, it is exciting. It's fun when you're at this stage where we're learning and we're doing different stuff for the first time. It's a laugh.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it's funny to say that because you think about, Eddie Hearn talks about sort of it so much where he's at a position now where you think he's sort of so high up in the promotion game. You think he'll look back and shows such as Joshua Klitschko and stuff like that. And that was sort of 5 years ago. But for someone like yourself, it must be exciting for you where you know that the best days for you are all in the future, they're all ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. They're the big shows where we want to be ahead of us. And I hope to think where we've started, we're going to progress, and we're never. I'm not saying go back to it because we started at a quite high level.
Yeah.
If you looked at our first ever show at 18 months ago, a lot of the guys out there, a lot of the channels out there saying it's the best small hall they've ever been to. And that was the first ever show. I feel like we've developed so much since then. And yeah, looking forward to the bigger shows.
Exactly. Sorry, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I was saying looking forward to the bigger shows. Yeah, of course, we know it's bigger there, but we also know how much hard work it is to get there and how much commitment, dedication, a bit of luck at times as well we need. So we're not deluded or kind of, we know where we've got to get to. We know what it's going to take and the kind of hard work it's going to take.
And you said there after your first show 18 months ago, how successful would you say it is now as we lead up to October 6th? Are you in the position that you want to be? Do you feel like you're further than you wanted to be at this stage?
Me personally, I'm going to be honest with myself. When I did my first ever show, I genuinely believed if you see the whole setup of our first show, you could tell that we weren't just in it just to do a few small shows. So for me, I always believed that we're going to do big shows. We're going to have some TV platform. So where we are at the moment, we've probably gone quicker than I thought. I didn't expect we'd get the support and the backing like we did and the kind of hype that's gone around GBM Sports. I didn't think it would come as quick as this. I definitely thought it'd get there. I didn't think it quick as this. But look, it's not about what we've done in the last 18 months. What we're going to do in the next 18 months, that's important for me. Looking forward and seeing where we can go, where we're going to go. And that really does excite me.
And the other exciting thing you said there about the production, everything like that, small hall boxing can be very niche, and especially for fighters, trying to sell tickets, making the grade. So how important is that you make your fighters sort of feel as special as they can, almost like making your fighters feel like they're pay-per-view stars in a way?
Yeah, of course. Listen, like I've said in a few interviews before, I just feel like the boxers risk their life when they go into that ring. They're only one punch away from being fatally injured, and that's the nature of the sport. Whether we people don't like to kind of see that side of it, because obviously it's not the kind of thing we want to talk about, but it's the reality of the sport. It's the only legal sport in the world that can legally get killed, can't it? So I understand the risk element the fighters take. And for me, I just want to think, as a promoter, why not give them a great platform? Why not give them a good production where they walk in and they feel good about themselves, they feel like they've achieved something before they've even fought? The fact they've got the media there, they've got the lights, the glitz, the glamour. And that's the kind of ethos behind giving them a great production. But you mentioned small hall promotion. See, there's a rule in our promotion company now. We don't class ourselves as small hall anymore because it's almost like a bit of a inferior complex calling ourselves more. Sometimes I feel like people want to, people would, yeah.
Good, yeah, good.
See, I know you mentioned like small or promotion. I just feel like there's nothing small all about us. You know, there's our ethos, our mindset, our mentality, our outlook. It's not small or boxing. Yeah, we haven't got a TV platform yet. Yeah, but you know, who knows? Who knows? Maybe we have one in the next 6 months. Maybe we have one in 12 months. You know, we've got good financial backing. We've got. I'll give you a typical example. When we started, we were struggling to get sponsors. You know, nobody really wants to put money into a small or where they don't get anything back, any financial back, because any sponsor or anybody who comes on board, they've got to get a financial return or they've got to feel like they're getting something back. When you got a TV platform, it's easy to get that because they get the numbers. This show, we've had over 9 or 10 different serious sponsors wanting to come on board, and I'm now in a position where we can pick and choose what we want. So all these things make me think, where are we small all? So we don't use that word small all. Yeah, we're not up there with a TV platform and the big promotional companies in the country, but I don't think we're far off of landing on a TV deal or some sort of platform where we can really cause a bit more of a noise and get some serious title fights on, you know, and get like always said on my first interview that I want a dream to put a world title on, and I think we're not a million miles away from that.
Absolutely, definitely. Well, we'll get into October 6th, a big card in Sheffield for a big sort of fight weekend in Sheffield as we see Josh Warrington take on Leigh Wood on the Saturday. But on the Friday, we do see Reece Mould take on McDonagh. A big fight and big opportunities for both fighters, which I'm sure you're very happy to stage that.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll touch on the first thing you mentioned about being on a big weekend in Sheffield.
Yeah.
So this venue we're doing is a brand new venue, so it's never done a sporting event before. It's a home of Sheffield Sharks basketball team. They give me the option of the dates they've got, and they said, look, the first possible date we can get, but it's before even the basketball comes onto the court, is October the 6th. So obviously did a bit of digging, and I realised from before they even announced the Leigh Wood, Josh Warrington, a few people close to both parties mentioned to me that fight's been signed over the line. It's definitely going to happen. So I just kind of sat down with a few members of our team and thought, should we take the chance? Should we take the gamble of going day before? And we obviously worked out the pros and cons, and the pros outweigh the cons. And I just thought it's a great opportunity to have the best media in the country there. You know, all eyes will be on Sheffield. There'll be a lot of people out there, and obviously Reece Mould's got the link with Josh Warrington, and Will Cole, who's on our card's got the link with Leigh Wood. So I just thought all the coaching team's going to be there. It just made sense, and yeah, we're putting the best show that we've done on without a shadow of doubt. Got a really good top of the bill, which I believe is a genuine 50-50. Reece Mould out at his gym, and I'd say when he boxed Hamid Gaz, it's the more hungry Reece Mould I've seen. And I said to Sean O'Hagan, and I said this on camera, I said, if Reece don't turn up, Martin and McDonagh's going to beat him, because we know we're not taking this kid lightly. We're too experienced for that. So, and I know how confident Martin's team is, so it excites me, Lewis, as a promoter, because Reece Mould fought Hamid Gaz in February, which I believe one of the best domestic fights in the country. Yeah. Real clash, 10 rounds of non-stop action. When Reece Mould fought recently, he didn't fight for the title, and you know, he didn't get me up for it. And I just thought, I want that feeling back of the title as a promoter. I want to be watching the titles. I want to be putting titles on and proper fights. And this is where we are. Reece Mould, Martin McDonagh, the WBA Continental Europe title is a genuine 50-50 top of the bill.
Do you think it's easy for someone like Reece, where you think of the people he's fought, it's easy for him to overlook someone like Martin, which makes it even more dangerous because you know how good Martin can be?
Without a shadow of doubt. And honestly, genuinely, I said this to Reece, I go, my only concern for you is you're going to be complacent on this. And Sean O'Hagan stopped me straight away. He goes, Izzy, we're too experienced and too long in the tooth to take this kid easy. He goes, one of the dangers is we don't know much about Martin McDonagh like we did at Hamid Gaz previously. So they've reassured me that they're not going to be looking over him, but that's definitely one of the dangers, because obviously the known name is Reece Mould. He's only lost to Leigh Wood. You know, it's 18, 19 fights, only one defeat to a world-class operator like Leigh Wood. So I don't think they've done it. Well, from what I've seen, they've not overlooked Martin in any way whatsoever. And I'd be surprised with a experienced coaching team like Reece Mould that they'd leave any stones unturned. So I believe they're going to cover all stones, but it's going to be a cracking fight. And I think close to times you're going to see a bit of back and forth, and we know what Reece said about Martin. We're going to go see Martin next week, the media team. So yeah, I think we're going to spice it up nicely to fight night.
Absolutely, I can't wait for it. I did actually see Martin last week, and he was very, very up for it. So it's definitely going to be an exciting fight. One fight you told me about a couple of weeks ago, you said, keep your eye on this, was Dolan versus Nicola Hopewell. You said that's a really, really good fight. To the one that definitely excited the fans.
Them two are fiery ladies. I'm telling you, there's some real fire in the belly with them. When everybody can say, any fighter is going to say we're going to win. You're not going to get many fighters who we don't think we're going to win this. But I can seriously see through their eyes. They genuinely believe they're going to win. There's no bullshit, or there's none of this, I'm just going to say I'm going to take a belt. Nicola Hopewell genuinely believes she's going to take the Commonwealth title off Emma Dolan. And Emma Dolan, she believes she's levels above Nicola Hopewell. She believes she's going to propel to further stuff, and this is just a stepping stone to get Nicola out of the way. And it's just a great fight. Listen, that kind of card could have topped up any local small old card and been top of the bill, but we've thought, no, let's not give him one title. Let's give him two titles. Let's not give him 150-50 top of the bill. Let's give him two. So this is what makes this show so strong, so powerful. It is a kind of top of the bill we've got. It warrants any small old show to be top of the bill, either one of them. But we put two on, so yeah, it's gonna be a special night of boxing.
Is it a big testament to both fighters where they're both undefeated and they're only sort of 5-0 and 3-0? So it's a massive testament that they want to get in there early on, and they don't care. They don't really care about losing. Yeah,
listen, let's be honest. Boxing needs it and all, doesn't it? You're all boxing fans. We've all got boxing at heart. If not, you won't be doing the jobs we are. I would be promoting if I didn't have a passion for boxing, because there's a lot easier ways to make money as a promoter. There's a lot easier ways. We've got a bit of passion for it. We've got a bit of passion for the game. So we want to see these fights. We want these kind of fights. We want to go to venues thinking which way is this going to go. Yeah. Not you can kick off every single card, every single fight on the card saying he's going to win, she's going to win, he's going to win. We want to go generally thinking. Now I've asked people about Emma Dolan, Nicola Hopewell. Some have said Emma Dolan, some have said Nicola Hopewell. Exactly the same with Reece Mould and Martin McDonagh. I spoke to people in the game who are well experienced, and some have said Martin McDonagh's going to be too much, and others have said Reece Mould's going to knock him out. So that's when you know it's a genuine 50-50, when you get a split opinion of the boxing world and boxing people who know boxing. Yeah. So that's the kind of stuff we want, and yeah, it excites me. It really excites. I'm like 3 weeks off. In about 2 weeks' time, I'll be in a fan mode, and I'll just be excited for the show, and just realise when I get there, actually, shit, I'm promoting this show, not just watching it.
I was going to say that you said there about what the fans want to see, and I was talking to another promoter literally a couple of days ago, and he was saying to me about the idea of putting on 50-50s, and he said, and I wonder if you agree with this, that the fans and the viewers are they're sick of seeing journeymen come up and cover up for a certain amount of rounds. So do you think now that more we'll see this more often, where we're getting so many 50-50 cards stacked all the way through, and not just people who are paid to lose in a way?
Without a shadow of doubt. Listen, we're up against a lot of competition with the UFC and your misfits and all this kind of stuff, and we've got a lot of competition now with the martial arts sports and UFC all over. So yeah, we've got it, and we want that as promoters, and everybody involved in the game wants that, because we are sick and tired of it. The fighters are sick and tired, the crowd's sick and tired, the managers are. But it's a tough business. It's hard. Boxing's probably one of the hardest sports businesses to do. So it's hard, but generally people want that. And I think I'm not going to single myself out, because if you look at the top promoters, they're the ones with the TV platform, they all put good fights on now. It's changed. I think if you look back, see, I'm a bit older than you, Louis. I remember when Cal Brook were boxing and guys like these, and they could fight 3 or 4 journeymen in a row, and nobody really know. But now everybody's computer savvy. Everybody knows it. So they'll bring up your records. So what you're fighting in for. Boxing's changed. I've seen it change in last 10-15 years a lot, and in the last 3 or 4 years even more, where people are more pushing. There's more, you go online and you see comments about, we're sick of boxing because it's so one-sided, and hopefully I'm a typical new era of boxing promoters, where not knocking what the old guys have done, because they've done a phenomenal job to get boxing where it is, but we generally want to put everything on the line, and if it's my fighter that loses, so be it. We're in this entertainment business, and the least we can do is entertain the crowd.
Absolutely, yeah. And you mentioned about undercard previously. Said Will Cawley's on there. Excited to have him back out. And what else can we expect from the undercard?
Oh, what a bag of talent with Cawley is. The thing is, with Will Cawley, I've heard about it for years and years and years. Everybody used to rave about him in the amateurs, and I didn't really know too much about him. And then obviously when the opportunity come through Ben Davidson, the conversation happened, and Billy Joe's involved, and the conversation happened, and I think it's exciting. He believes he's going to be a British champion in 2 or 3 fights. You know, they're not in this just to tick along. Ben Davidson had a proper sit down with me, and he said, "We believe he's going to be a champion in the next 3 or 4 fights." So, listen, he could be in his 12 rounders and ranked in top 10 in the world in different governing bodies very quickly, and that's the kind of plan we've got. We've got many undefeated fighters on. We've got 2 kids making a debut. One is Naphtali, the Yorkshire Yardie, they call him. What a name, eh? The Yorkshire. He's actually a former professional basketball player.
Oh, wow.
And you might tell me this. I don't know if there has ever been a professional basketball player turned professional boxer. I've never heard of it.
Well, I've heard, obviously you've had footballers and stuff, but I don't think we've had basketball players. I
Yes,
know
I think it could be a bit of history there. Yeah,
Yeah.
we did some media work out yesterday, and he had his boxing gloves on.
Yeah.
And he was throwing shots with a basketball. They were good fun.
Yeah.
So he's making his debut. We've got a kid called Iron Adam who's got a high knockout ratio in the amateurs making his debut. We've got undefeated Joe Hayden, undefeated Naman Hussain, undefeated Frat Cali. Sheldon McDonald's is on there. Bree Wright's on there. Declan Kane's on there. Liam Cameron's coming off a long layoff.
Yeah.
You know, 5, 6. Funny enough, I made my professional boxing debut, and Liam Cameron were on the same card.
Wow.
Yeah, in 2010. So, yeah, do you want me to show you something? Can I pick this phone up and show you something?
Yeah, of course, mate. Of course, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Go on.
Can you see that?
Wow. Oh, mate, that's mental, isn't it? That's crazy, man.
Oh, it's crazy. And he said it in a few inches. We used to spar regular at the Grant Smith Steel City Gym, where Dalton and that were little kids then. Dalton and all these were little kids at the gym, and me and Liam were pros at the same time. So it's stories like that, you know. It's like madness, really. I didn't think 10 years ago, 12 years ago that I used to look at Liam were ABA champion, the top five. Now he's making his comeback. So just like so many little stories like that just make the job nice. You make a hard sport, hard business. But this is a nice idea when you see stories like this and things like people making the debuts. It's what it gives you the real kick. Yeah, the world titles are great, but this kind of stuff is priceless.
Especially when you said about Liam Cameron there, and his story is, you know, it's famous for you know how hard it's been the past couple of years for him. So to provide him back on another platform, and someone that you've had a history with Liam, you've had a history with him for a long time. You just showed there. It must be great to provide the opportunity for him to come back and really sort of get the ball rolling now, because there's a lot of inspiration people can take from his story.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, listen, you know, as a promoter, yeah, it's great, the business side of it. I understand that business element, and commercially things got to work out. But you know, stories like this, you know, when a kid's struggling and his father comes and he's a young kid starting up, and all of a sudden you're going to be starting his journey and you get him on board and that kind of stuff. You know, it's priceless memories and it's invaluable experience for both of you, and things that you cherish even when boxing finishes, and you think, right, we started his career, you come on our show, we've been part of his journey, and hopefully you've done some goodness by having that, and having him back on our platform. I think was a great opportunity. You know, I spoke to Leigh and who's managing him, who's doing a great job with his fighters, and yeah, we made it happen, and it's nice, a nice touch.
Absolutely. We'll move sort of talking about yourself there. You mentioned about yourself being a pro. You fought, being a fighter now and a promoter. How much has that opened your eyes to boxing in general? Like being on both sides.
Listen, I always say, just because you're a great fighter, don't make you a great promoter. You know, just because there's some great fighters out there who can't promote. I only had 4 pro fights, but I believe generally, I knew I'd be a good promoter. I knew I'd do it, and I don't think the boxing side helps me a heck of a lot. But I don't think boxing alone could make you great a promoter, because a promotion takes a lot of other things. You need to have the financial element. You need to have the business acclimate. You need to have the front. You need to have the team. You need to be able to delegate a team. There's a lot of components of a boxing promotion outfit. And I think is while I was boxing, I was always running business for the last 10, 15 years. So I've had my own business since I was 24, 25 years old. So I've always been involved in business. I knew the combination of knowing boxing and having my business experience. I knew it'd be the kind of recipe for a successful promotion outfit. And I'm not saying, I don't like using the term successful, but we've already achieved a lot more than most people would have thought we have. And I'm telling you, it's not even the start. So, you know, I'm hoping this is just the start of where we're going to go, GBM Sports. And I think being a fighter, see, I know the exact psyche of a fighter. I know the emotions they're going through. I know the financial struggles. I know the psychological struggles. Like there's been so many occasions where I've spoke to a fighter 10 days before, and I said to my team, he's not going to fight, and they go, how do you know? I go, just know. And that's because being there, I understand the mindset. I understand what triggers you, what doesn't trigger you, what you want to hear, what you don't want to hear, and it does help massively. But it's not the be all end all, because I could have boxed and been a useless promoter. But the combination, like I said, of the boxing and my business experience is, I think, is unique, because I don't see many promoters who've got the both sides to it. I see a lot of business promoters or great promoters better than me at it, but they don't really understand the fighting elements. And some, just because you know boxing don't mean you're going to be a great promoter. But I believe I bring both the sides to it.
Do you think people more respect you in a way because they know that you've done the hard? Listen,
I've seen it already. I've seen it. Typical funny story. And I'm not saying Luke McCormack, Pat McCormack, love him to bits. Went to Ben Davison's gym. I had a bit of back and forth on socials with him that I'm going to spar when he comes to the gym.
I remember that.
I got there, and Oscar Berries with everyone, and he goes,
I was there the day after.
Yeah. He goes, go on then, big man. I went, come on then. And even though we were messing about, they instantly respected the fact I would get through the ropes, and I would now. I'd spar with any fighter in the country, probably body sparring and not open. And it's a nice feeling, because I still go to the local community gym, so I go and a lot of these kids now probably just see me on interviews and on YouTube, so they think, oh, has he changed? And I go in there and I'll spar with the 21-year-old kids, and I mess about with them, and for them it's like, wow, you know. He's a boxing promoter, but he's just coming in and sparring with him, and just because I think you've got to keep grounded, and you don't change. As a good people don't change anyway. And I go in there, and I generally believe he's got the respect. And fighters know fighters, and they know that I understand them, and I think it gives me a lot of respect, and he's obviously got me a lot of contacts in the game, because like Dave Allen, who's a good friend of mine, me and him were sparring partners, so they've already got this respect for me. Now they see me as a promoter, so it kind of makes the job a lot easier, because I don't believe it's the kind of business you can get into if you haven't got the contacts or the know-how boxing.
Definitely. And you mentioned earlier in the interview about wanting the TV deals and wanting to be in the big lights. How much do yourself, when you go to sort of Wembley Arena or you go to the big box office, we were at Smith Eubank Jr. too, when you're at these fights, how much do you manifest for yourself that, one day I'll be sitting in the promoter seat and I'll be promoting shows like this?
I already believe we're going to do it. It's like manifestation's a massive thing for me. Obviously, I always, every single thing I've done in GBM has been a combination of hard work, manifestation, and putting trust in God. And I do that on everything we do. I think all you can do is try your best, believe in it, and put your trust in, put your faith in the Almighty, and you can push it off. And I genuinely believe we'll be there. So when I go to these shows, you've got it bang on. I think you've worked me out. I go there and I think, well, this is going to be us. And I genuinely believe it. And I look around and I think, there's nothing here we can't deliver. And I genuinely believe that. The only obviously difference is we haven't got the TV backing right now. And obviously with TV backing comes big financial backings. But if you put them to us, I think we'd be up there with as good as anybody in the country. And I genuinely believe that. And remember, it's not me just here. We've got a team of 27, 28. We're building probably the strongest team in the country. And I'm handpicking everybody. Every single person, and most of my team have got a passion for boxing, understand boxing, and then obviously you've got your corporate sides, you've got your media people. We're building a strong team, and it's not where we want it to be completely, but yeah, we're getting there slowly but surely. We're just building, and yeah, TV is the plan.
100%. Izzy, just want to say thank you for taking time to speak. It's been a really good chat, mate. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you, mate.
Appreciate that. Thank you. It's my first ever Zoom call interview as well.
Oh, serious? Wow.
Yeah, I'm a kind of face-to-face kind of person, and get the energy and the vibe. And so obviously when you mentioned this, we've been filming all day yesterday. I'm filming. This is it. It's people don't see this side of a promotion outfit.
Absolutely.
And even at our level, like I went yesterday, Reece Mould, Nap and everything. We're going to McDonagh next week. I've got to go see the sponsors next week as well, and then I've got radio stations, and it's good. It's nice to look brilliant, but there's a lot of hard work and travelling and back and forth. Yeah. I suppose it's the nature of the beast, and that's what I've chosen, so they're not complaining whatsoever.
Definitely. There is a lot of beauty in that, though. A lot of beauty in the things that people don't see.
Listen, Lewis, I'm living my dream. Yeah. I'm living my dream as we speak right now. If I never promote ever again, I've achieved more than most people I ever thought I did. So for me, every day is a bonus. We're growing and growing, and there's no pressure. Everybody expected me to fail. Everybody expected us to fail. I grew up in school and teachers told me I would do nothing. Authorities told us we would do nothing. So to achieve what we have already is phenomenal grounds, and we're just growing and enjoying it. And there's no pressure. We just grow. We believe, and who knows? This time next year we could be in a completely different place if things go to plan. To what I've got up the sleeve.
100%, Izzy. It's exciting. I'm looking forward to it, man. We look forward to October 6th. So thank you for speaking to me. I appreciate you taking the time, man. Thank you.
Top man.
Top man.